All right, you made it. Winter break is almost here. And I know right now you're probably thinking about all the things that you want to fix or change or do differently when you come back in January. But before you start making a list of New Year's resolutions for your classroom, I want to share what I am teaching our teachers not to do in January, and instead what I am suggesting they focus on. So, because I think that this is going to change the way that you think about the second half of the year. And that's why I recorded this particular YouTube video for you. So, here's what happens for most teachers in January, right? You come back from break, you're rested, you're ready to go, but you immediately feel this pressure to just hit the ground running, right? Testing is coming, there are standards to cover, students are behind. So, what do most teachers do? Right? They cram in as much new content as humanly possible, or they jump straight into test prep mode. They start covering every standard that they possibly can because there's no time to waste. Am I right? Like, does that feel like it resonates with you? And the thing is that I get it, right? That pressure is real. But here's what actually happens when we do this. So first of all, our students have been off for 2 weeks, sometimes 2.5 weeks. And they have completely checked out. They're distracted by their friends and their personal lives, all of the things. They are not focused on academics. The last thing that they care about is jumping into rigorous new content. Second, a lot of times we forget that our students have lost some of those basics, right? They just had a lot of time off. They're not necessarily ready to dive into complex new material because they've forgotten what we taught them in December or even November, or even October, right? And third, when we try to cram everything in and cover all of the standards, we end up overwhelming ourselves and our students. We're exhausted, they're disengaged, and nothing actually sticks. So what happens is we work harder, right? We plan more, we stress more, and then we wonder why January feels so brutal. So here's what I'm teaching our teachers not to do in January. I'm teaching them to not overhaul everything. They're not going to add more to their plate. They're not going to try to catch up on everything that they didn't get to in the first semester. And I definitely don't want them jumping straight into test prep mode. Instead, I'm suggesting that they focus on one thing, one strategic, high impact thing that's going to set their students up for success for the rest of the school year. And I always suggest our teachers start with a hyper-focused, extremely engaging 1-week unit that brings students back into the classroom, that hooks their attention and gets them thinking critically again, right? You want them to use their brains again after being off for a really long period of time. But here's the key. That particular unit is built entirely around our evidence-based writing framework, which is claim, premise, evidence, justification. You can even see it up here on my board. It's a huge part of what we teach our teachers. Because if we can get our students thinking in this framework, if we can get them using it to respond, to analyze, to communicate their ideas, everything else gets so much easier. So this isn't necessarily about covering all of the standards. This isn't about test prep. This 1 week back after break is about re-engaging your students and giving them the one skill or set of skills here that will carry them through the rest of the school year. Because the truth is this, if you focus on claim, premise, evidence, justification in nearly every aspect of your ELA class, you will see massive growth in your students' ability to think, respond, and communicate. Because this isn't just a writing framework, this is a thinking framework. And when students can do that, kind of a lot of the standards start to take care of themselves. So why does this work so much better than just cramming content and jumping into test prep? First, it meets students where they are, right? They are distracted. They are not ready for rigor. So instead of forcing it, we hook them with something engaging, something that makes them want to think, something that makes them want to participate. Second, it focuses on one framework that applies to, quite frankly, almost everything. When students understand claim, premise, evidence, justification, they can use it in reading, in writing, in their speaking and listening. It shows up everywhere. So you're not teaching a million different things. You're teaching one thing really deeply. And third, it sets you up for success for the rest of the school year as the teacher. Because once students have this framework, once they're thinking this way, once they're engaged again and they're excited to be in your ELA class, then you can move faster. You can cover more and you can actually get to all of those standards that you're worried about in the first place. But it really starts with focusing on one thing, not 10 things, just one. So I want to give you some permission. This is what I want you to hear. You do not have to do everything in January. You don't. You do not have to overhaul your entire classroom, your entire plan. You don't have to catch up on everything that you didn't get to in the first semester. If you just focus on this one thing, that 1 week back, make it engaging for your students, focusing on claim, premise, evidence, justification, that's going to move the needle. And that's what we teach our teachers here at EB. Evidence-based writing, that's the framework that changes everything. A lot of the times teachers burn out because they're trying to do everything, right? They want to be the best, and I get that. But let's make this second semester about working smarter, not harder. I want you to start making strategic decisions instead of just reacting to everything. So as you head into break, I want you to think about this. What is the one thing that you want to focus on in January? Not 10 things, just one. And if you're thinking, okay, Caitlin, I want to do that. I want to do what you said. I want to focus on evidence-based writing, but I don't know where to start. Well, that's exactly what we do inside of our membership, the EB Teachers ELA portal. We have hyper engaging units that are built around this particular framework. Everything is planned for you. All of the resources are there. And it's really designed to hook your students, to get them engaged, to get them thinking critically from day one. So I will drop the link below where you're watching this video if you want to learn more. But for now, I want you to make it to break and really, truly enjoy your break because you have earned it.